September 11th, 2001, we will never forget. 9/11 and the FDNY are forever linked. The museum's memorial is one of the few places where you can look into the eyes of each of the 343 firefighters who were killed that day. The display exemplifies the sacrifice they're willing to make to try to save their fellow New Yorkers. Our Amy Freeze has the story of an inspiring grassroots organization that continues to respond to the needs of our first responders.
Just days after 9/11, as the city and world reeled from the attack, Nancy Carbone, a civilian and mother of two, did what a lot of New Yorkers did. Walked into a local firehouse looking to help. She met firefighter John Sorrentino, and Friends of Firefighters was born.
Firemen, by nature, we help people. That's what we do. And this time the roles are reversed. We needed help. I didn't know Nancy, I never met her before, so I said, we don't have anybody to play taps. We need a bugler, because there were so many funerals going on.
Nancy found them a bugler, additional bunting for firehouses, and even therapists.
And that blew my mind. The counseling part was not easy, because that was a huge responsibility. I am being entrusted by a stranger to bring in strangers, to be there at the most sensitive time. For the first time in the history of the department, the members were vulnerable.
The FDNY is the largest fire department of the country with great resources for its 11,000 plus members. But Friends of Firefighters was to be a sanctuary of sorts, away from the job.
We provide counseling services primarily for firefighters and their families. We give them a safe place to come. We give them the tools to get through the traumas that they witness. So I think it could be said that we're here to catch those firefighters that will fall through the cracks.
What began in a storefront is now an organization with 7 satellite locations. The main building is an inactive firehouse in Red Hook, lovingly restored by volunteers.
I just think guys are comfortable coming here. You feel like you're coming home again. It fills a need. Maybe a lot of people in the outside world wouldn't understand it because it's 18 years after September 11th, but for those of us who were right in the middle of it, it'll never go away.
So you're like a little ball rolling into the lumbar spine, your low back. Again, we store a lot of tension there, especially after work, when you've been carrying a lot of gear.
Besides counseling, there are healthy pursuits like yoga, acupuncture, and biofeedback.
20 years ago, you couldn't get them to do yoga or meditation or counseling. We are dealing with a different generation now, and still the same makeup, still macho, men and women, but very, very conscious of their health.
As firemen, we don't feel like we need help. We think we can do everything on our own. Knowing that there's a place you can go and just talk with somebody, get some stress relief, do exercise or whatever.
I think that the newer generation is more open to different types of methods in terms of wellness and getting better.
There are also monthly breakfasts where veterans and newcomers can share their experiences.
Over 90% of the firefighters that are currently working today in New York City were not on the job on 9/11. So this is a historic shift in the department.
I got guys who are, started on the job 50 years ago. Guys who started on the job 3 years ago. It's a good mix, and it's good to learn from the older guys.
People can talk about, what's going on in their lives and how they've dealt with trauma, and to me, people need that close-knit relationship.
Friends of Firefighters is a nonprofit, and all the services are free. The board includes actor and former FDNY member Steve Buscemi, Gary Sinise, whose foundation supports first responders, and former board member and now FDNY Commissioner Dan Nigro. I had the honor of hosting this year's fundraiser, but it was also the night of that freak November storm.
We made about a quarter of what we generally make, and that has hit us hard. So we are experiencing a tough time now.
It's a testament to Nancy for keeping this going as long as she has.
If something happens, I know they have our backs, all of us, right? So my feeling is that if they need help, it's an obligation, but honestly, it's an honor to be there for them.